say that My Chemical Romance saved your life twice and that it can save other people's lives. How can it do so?
Well, the way it did it, I'll explain it in the way it did it for me. I mean, the first time it did is when I had no purpose, and I was basically like, living in my parents' basement, doing nothing. I mean, I was going to end up being nothing, and I couldn't live like that, so I don't know what was going to happen to me. So the band gave me a purpose, and then, whether the band got big or not, it didn't matter. What mattered is that I had a purpose. So, and then again, when I got clean and sober, the band was there for me. It's what helped me. Those van rides with 7 guys in a van is what got me through that. I was basically, detoxing in a van, and like, I spent months of like sweating and being erratic, and they really helped me through it. So, I mean, really, the way the band is there for people is through the music, and that's the point. It's the music. We're not therapists. We don't have the answers, um, but we have to say what we have to say, and that's simply it.
And you feel responsibility for the kids because they really look up to you.
I feel a responsibility to live my life, and the guys feel a responsibility to live their lives as best as we can. To not fall into the rock cliches um, of like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Um, we're very much opposed to sexism, racism, homophobia. These are things we've always been opposed to because we saw them early on in the punk scene that we were a part of, and then we detached ourselves from that. And I think that stuff exists in any scene, though. But in our particular scene, we didn't like it, so we removed ourselves. But no, I do feel a responsibility, and that's not one that I'm bummed about, like, because I don't like being a scumbag anyway, so it works out.
The next single is gonna be Teenagers, is that so? Is it gonna be different than I Don't Love You?
It's gonna be completely different than I Don't Love You. Actually, it's shaping up to be one of my favorite videos, just from looking at the edits and things like that. It feels very special. It feels like when we made Helena. So, completely different nature of song, but that's what it feels like. So, I think Mark was perfect for the video, and the DP we had in the video was great too.
And which of the videos was hardest for you to shoot?
Probably Helena, because it was so close to home. Um, I mean, there was a lot of details that were just coincidental, that were very realistic to the actual funeral for my grandmother. So that made it very, very hard. Like the coffin, for example, is exactly the same, and they didn't plan that. Nobody had planned that, and that was a difficult video to shoot. We didn't do much in that video. Actually, we just performed and carried the coffin, and that was it.
You designed some of the merchandise for My Chemical Romance, and I've heard that you designed also some merchandise for other bands. Can you say for what band?
That was a long time ago. I mean, I'd done a T-shirt for Thursday before I'd even had a band. And that was a lot of fun. And Frankie has a lot to do with the merch now, and Mikey has a lot to do with the merch now. They kind of oversee it, but we have 2 design houses that do the merch, and then we give them direction and we approve or deny the designs because our schedules are so busy now that we can't design our own merch anymore.
For the Black Parade costumes, you collaborated with Colleen Atwood. Weren't you thinking of doing something you with her together, that you could design something?
I would love that. I mean, she was, out of the whole Black Parade experience, she was one of the most special people that we worked with, and we really hit it off with her. She was kind of like, she felt like our big sister, and I kind of wanted to keep working with her after the Black Parade, because she was so great to work with. So, I mean, yeah, I would love that.
On your DVD Live on the Murder Scene, you mentioned that you are not too keen on laundry. Did you make any progress there?
Yeah, I like doing laundry now. I actually like having clean clothes. I used to not be into that before, so I like it now.
All of you except of Bob come from New Jersey, and it is quite dangerous area where you lived, or it's not really happy area. Do you think that because of that city you have the dark image?
I think it has something to do with it. I think coming from the part of New Jersey that we come from, it has a lot to do with reality, and also escape at the same time. Um, dose of reality living there, and I think that's why our music is so realistic, yet there's such an escape to it.
Can you imagine your life without My Chemical Romance?
The rest of my life, we want to do this as long as we can. We also want to do it as long as it's special. We made a promise to ourselves when we started the band that if it ever stopped being special, we would stop doing it. So that's what we decided, and it's still extremely special to us. So we don't see an end in sight.